Hi, this is Griffin with Hud-Son Equipment. We're going to show you guys how to do the Hud-Son blade set installation on the H360. So in your box here, you get the instructions, a parts list, you have the Setworks bracket here, mounting plate, loom, hardware, the Setworks cable, the instruction manual for the Micron Pro Setworks, the sensor for the shaft, control box, the sun shield, the cover for the sensor, and the mount to your operator station for the Setworks. So we're going to remove the winch switch here. We're going to remove the boot and move the switch here. It's a 9/16 wrench, pop that loose. And in the instructions it says to leave the wire, remove the wires. So here I have my positive in the middle, and then I have both my posts for up and down on either side. So I'm going to remove those. After you get everything disassembled up here, go ahead and loosen the nut on the post for your positive terminal and pull the wire out of the top of the hydraulic valve. Setworks box onto the bracket before or after installing the foot onto the operator station. Install the provided gray cable onto the right side of the Setworks box. Install the red wire with the inline fuse to the positive post on your operator station. Install the black wire provided onto the negative post of the operator station. Route the green and the white wires in the cable towards the winch switch wires. So these wires here are blue and yellow. You'll go ahead and cut these back and strip these to install these butt connectors provided. After crimping on the bolt connectors, your green here will go to the blue or the green wire coming from your winch switch. Don't fully connect these wires, as you may need to change them later down the road to ensure that you have the proper up and down switch going the right way. Reinstall the previously removed battery cables to ensure that we have the proper winch direction. Go ahead and power the Setworks on. And when you hit the up switch on the left side here, you want to see if the head will go up. So here we'll have to change these two wires to ensure that we have the proper winch direction. Once you get the proper winch direction, go ahead and fully install the bolt connectors. So that will go up with the up button, and the head will go down with the down button. Go ahead and take the blue cable provided. Make sure you have the male end here and thread it into the left side of the Setworks box. Go ahead and route your blue cable down behind your hoses and run it on top of the tubes where your wires are previously ran. Until you get to the other side. Continue to run the blue cable down the tube here. Now that we've ran all the wire to the nylon track, we're go ahead and remove all the exposed blue wires. And when we came to the fender brackets right here, we zip tied it on either side of these brackets and kept it in the middle, so that way our fender brackets can still go on and it won't interfere with anything. Now that we've gotten our blue wire to the nylon track, we're going to go ahead and on this particular nylon track, we're going to run it in between and fish it all the way up through. On the newer nylon track, you could pop out each clip and you could run it in between that way. And when you get it to the bend, you would clip them all back down, pull the head back, and then repeat the process. This is going to be the most time-consuming part, so take your time and do it the right way. Install the 1-inch provided locking collar onto the end of the lift bail. Install the sensor with the cable here onto the end of the lift bail. Go ahead and remove the nut and the lock washer on this bolt here. Install the 1/2-inch coupling nut, leaving the flat washer against the bearing. And repeat for the other side. Go ahead and take the 1/2-inch bolts provided, install the 1/2-inch lock washer and the 1/2-inch washer, and take your sensor guard here and install it over the coupling nuts and thread the bolts into the coupling nuts. Once the sensor guard is installed, go ahead and zip tie your sensor wire here to the holes in the sensor guard. Go ahead and do this for all three, and once that is achieved, run your sensor wire down and take your sensor wire coming from the nylon track and attach it. There's alignment notches in there. Attach it where the alignment notches are and thread it on until tight. Once you've attached your sensor cable here, go ahead and zip tie it to the rest of the harness to keep it out of the way of everything else. To install the sun shield, we're going to go ahead and place the provided bolt through with a 5/16 flat washer, face it down, and we'll install a nylon washer underneath that in between the sun shield and the bracket. And then we'll install another flat washer. We're going to go ahead and install our spring. We're going to install another flat washer. And finally our nylock nut. And we'll tighten this till the sun shield has enough tension to move, but not freely. So after the sun shields are installed, your sensors installed, everything is ran and plugged in, go ahead and power the Setworks on. There's a small little silver button here on the bottom. You just got to press that in, and we'll power that on. So now, as we know, this is up and this is down here. So for our values, first things first, what I like to do is I raise it up a little bit. So now if you go up, the saw head will go down. And if you go down, the saw head will go up. So we'll need to change that. Also, if you're going up, it'll decrease value rather than increase. So we'll need to go to the settings here, press and hold that. The code is 3068 and then hit enter. It'll say F with a blinking dash. We'll go ahead and press F14. This is to reverse the up and the down. Or sorry, that was to reverse the value. So as our saw head goes up, our value increases rather than decreases now. So now we'll need to do the same thing again, since our saw head is reversed with these arrows here. We'll need to go to F12. And now our saw head should go up when pressed up. So our next step would be to set our X and our Y minimum and maximum coordinates. So what we would need to do is torque our blade. You can either use the scale stick as a guide for your measurement, or you can measure off of the bump. So you use a tape measure off the bump to the bottom of the blade, and you can get an accurate measurement that way too. The code for our minimum and our maximum coordinates. You hold your settings, you go to F, it'll be code F92. So it'll show up, it'll drop it down here. So this will be our minimum coordinate, which is 1 inch, right? We'll make sure our head's all the way down. 1 inch. Now it'll switch automatically to F98. Now you need to bring your head all the way to the top until it stops or until you can't go any further. Now you can either go by the scale stick here, or you can go off of the bump. I'm going to use the bump for this one here to get an accurate measurement. I like to measure both sides of the bump. So it shows that our max coordinate is 30 and 5/8. We'll go ahead and hit 30, and then to add a decimal, or a fraction, sorry, we'll hit 5, go down, and then hit 8. You don't have to hit anything else after that, just hit enter, and then I'll automatically go. So now if you go down, your value should decrease. If you go up, your value will decrease, and that'll be your max coordinate. Now that we got our minimum and our maximum coordinates set, we'll go ahead and we'll set our curve thickness. The curve thickness is right here, with the line with between the two rectangles. So the stock curve thickness is set to 0.098. Here at Hud-Son, we use 0.043 curve thickness blades. For different curve thickness blades, go ahead and refer to your manual. So we'll go ahead and we'll put in 0.043. This is for Hud-Son's curve thickness. We'll hit enter, and now our curve thickness is set. After entering your curve thickness, we'll go ahead and we'll get our clamping turned off. So we'll go ahead here to the settings, hold that down. We'll enter the code again. Our code is 3068. And then F, it'll be F49 for the clamping to turn it off. So the clamping. So now let's just say we wanted to enter a value. We can hit this button right here. This is the Bladeset go to. So it should automatically go to 10 inches. And to ensure that it goes to 10 inches, we'll go ahead and we'll measure it. Or you can look at your scale stick. And if you like where the measurement is set, go ahead and hit this robot button. This is the calibration button. And once you've achieved that, you're all set. To program your bump up mode, refer to the manual. There's 4 different bump up modes for the Setworks here. Here at Hud-Son, we use the bump up mode that brings our head to the first cut place. So to program the bump up mode, we'll go here back to the gear. We'll hold that down. It'll bring us an F. Our bump up code is F30. And then this will drop down. So there's 4 different modes you could set for your bump up. So here at Hud-Son, we use mode number 4. So it'll say on 4. Now our bump up mode is set. So to change the bump up height, we'll go here to the gear again.
So F, we'll hit F31, we'll hit enter. Automatically it's set to 3/16. So for code number 4, it goes 3/16 inch above the first cut place. I always like to change it to 1/2 inch. So we'll go 1, press it down, 1/2, enter, and now your bump up mode is set. So for instance, if we're cutting at 10 inches, if that's our first cut place, I'll go ahead and I'll hit this save button here. And then I want it to go to the pre-cuts here. So this will be 3/4 of an inch. Let's just say we want to cut a 3/4 inch forward. We'll hit the enter. It will go down 3/4 of an inch with the curve thickness. So that way we have the proper board cut. And then we'll go ahead and we'll hit up. This will go to 10.5 or roughly 10.5. And then if we wanted to make a 3/4 inch cut again, we'll go down. So now we'll go 3/4 inch below it, 9.25. And we hit our bump up again, it'll go 10.5, so that we don't have to keep, taking logs off or taking boards off as you saw. For any further detail on any button settings or modes, refer to the manual. Thank you from Hud-Son Equipment, and we hope this video was helpful.